Calls the matter of Robert Kronk and Darian Weeks, file 19-10822-DP. This is set for a show cause. Mr. Brzezinski, are you here for the front of the court this morning?
Yes, I am, Judge.
All right. Looks like we had this hearing originally back in July, adjourned to today's date. Mr. Kronk was to make some specific payments, and how's he done on those things, Mr. Brzezinski?
He has not done that. He was ordered to make a payment on July 11th. That did not happen. And then prior to today's hearing, he was supposed to pay a total of $218, and that did not happen either.
So, Mr. Kronk, what happened?
Well, Your Honor, I was working at McDonald's and my vehicle broke down and they put my money on a pay card, which it took over a month for me to get a paycheck, and literally I got incarcerated. It's called a rapid pay card, and they couldn't activate the card. I even called the company, and the company said the card wasn't active no more because I had gotten fired because my vehicle has damage to the front end steering, so I couldn't steer or do anything like that. So I've pretty much been waiting. If I were out, I could make a payment. I'm sitting here for I don't know how long, but it wasn't like I intentionally tried to miss the payments. My girlfriend that I was with at the time, Mrs. Fannin, was supposed to make the payment. I thought she did. I wasn't aware that she didn't because it was off her card that we were supposed to. I'm not sure if it went through properly or not, but I mean, if I was out, I could give you more validity on things, but I'm in here for, I'm not sure how long, sir.
What are you in for?
Alleged of possession, but I literally didn't have anything on me. I'm sober, clean, and
Possession of what?
amphetamines.
All right.
But it was just, it was residue in some package.
I don't need to go into the details of it, and I don't think your lawyer would probably want you talking about the details of it. When did you go into jail?
I got arrested on Friday last week. I had everything set up to where I could make a payment, but I literally have not been able to do anything. I can't get a hold of anybody out there because my phone's in my property, and I've been trying since Friday to get some phone numbers off my phone. If I could possibly get a hold of somebody, I could probably have them make a payment while I'm in here, but I'm not sure how long I'm going to be in here. I was going to ask the court if they could suspend my child support while I'm in here, because that's what Charlotte County is doing.
The statute for suspension of child support is if you're incarcerated for longer than 6 months. And right now, I don't have any idea how long you're going to be incarcerated. So if you can show us that you are incarcerated or are going to be incarcerated for longer than 6 months, we can take that under advisement. But as of today's date, I don't have that information.
All right. I'm fighting the case that I got right now because it's stupid, but I'm not sure how long I'm going to be here. I was just hoping that you guys could suspend it so that way I can have time to catch up. Because, Your Honor, I'm not going to lie. I have a house that's damaged during the ice storm, and it's got holes through the roof. I got a car that literally went to crap. I'm trying to repair my house, pay child support for Charlevoix, pay child support for Otsego, while still trying to maintain living for myself. And so far, Your Honor, I'm struggling horribly bad.
I can understand that.
I can't really get work because they suspended my driver's license for some allegations, and I got charged for driving on a suspended license on private property, which I have no idea how they even remotely consider that a crime because it was private property.
Mr. Kronk, slow down. You're getting way far afield telling me about all the details of all the stuff that's happening in your life. The only issue I really want to know is, did you pay? And if not, why not? I don't need to know all about your other criminal cases or all about the sad things that are happening to you.
I can't pay anything while in here.
I get that, but we were in court on July 11th, and you were supposed to pay $60 on July 11th, and you didn't, and you weren't incarcerated then. So far, all I've heard is that you threw your girlfriend under the bus for it.
It was her debit card, Your Honor, that we were going to use because she had the money right there.
It's
Yes,
your
but
debt. It doesn't matter to me whose money it was supposed to be or who you were borrowing it from or how you were going to get it. You were ordered to pay $60 on July the 11th, and you're just now telling me about it. Why weren't you in the friend of the court's office on July the 12th saying, hey, did you get the payment?
Because I don't have a license, Your Honor. I have no way to drive. I have no transportation in any way, shape, or form. She told me she made the payment that day. It was supposed to be, I was said that the payment was made. I never got no call saying it wasn't. I was under the assumption that it was made because she was sitting right there with the debit card. And that's why we had it set out to make a specific payment with a debit card.
Do you know how?
Because we couldn't.
Do you know how childish that sounds? Somebody else screwed up for my payment, and I didn't.
And I know it sounds childish, but it's the truth. It's not anything that's a lie. I have no reason to sit here and lie. I'm obviously incarcerated, so there's no reason to lie.
Sir, I didn't say that you lied. I simply said that you didn't follow up and make sure that it was done.
I know.
Hey, stop talking. Stop talking. This is not a debate. You were ordered to make a payment. It didn't get made. Doesn't matter why not. You didn't follow up on it. You didn't call anybody to find out if it had been made.
And that's my fault. That's my mistake. I should have. I was under the assumption that a person was telling me the truth. How stupid of me to believe people.
No, how stupid of you not to take responsibility and do it yourself.
Well, when it's a girlfriend for 7 years, I was assuming that she was going to do the right thing. We've been together for 7 years. She's never lied to me once. I have no idea why it didn't go through. We tried it. I'll have to talk to her when I get out. I have no way of contacting her. If I were out, I could make a full payment.
When is your next court hearing in Charlevoix?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I'm sitting in limbo right now. I'm trying to get a bond because I got violations for probation, so I'm trying to get that bond. And once I get that bond, I can be released and I can make a full payment. I'm not aware of when. I will keep the court notified. I will correspond with you guys with writing. I will write my caseworker and stuff. That's the only way I can correspond with you guys right now.
All right.
Or I can have.
Are you done, Mr. Kronk, or not?
Yeah, go ahead.
Within 7 days of your release from Charlevoix County, you will make a payment of $278. That's the $60 you owed me for July 11th and the $218 that you owed me for the month of July.
Can I ask a favor of the court if you could give me 2 weeks, because I have no idea what the status of anything's going to be when I get out. There's a PPO order for some reason. I cannot go to my residence when I get out. So, I need a little bit more time than that, Your Honor, respectively asking, because I have no idea what the hell's going on. I can't get a hold of anybody. They won't let me call anybody. I have no phone numbers. And I would just respectfully ask for a little bit more time than a week, because it's going to take me a minute to get back on my feet. If I have to sell all my tools for my business, then I have to sell all my tools.
14 days.
Appreciate that, Your Honor.
14 days from the date that you are released. If we have to come looking for you to find out when you are released, you will go to jail. We will issue a bench warrant for you. Okay? But you got 14 days from the day that you are released to submit $278 to the friend of the court. We will adjourn this for 30 days. We'll have another one of these hearings in 30 days. You'll get notice either at the jail or at your home address. Any other questions that you have, Mr. Kronk?
No, sir. Thank you for your patience and sorry for my misconduct.
I appreciate that, but here's my word to you. Word of advice. Don't depend on other people to do what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. I'll see you in 30 days.
Yep.
Hold up.
Ready to go.
All right, we'll be there in a minute.
All right, next matter is Jesse Gonzalez and Melissa Ricecroft. It's file 18-17322-DS. believe I have a second file as well, which is also 18-17322 with the same parties. All right. Do we have Mr. Gonzalez with us?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Brzezinski, how are we to proceed today?
On the file with Melissa, this hearing was adjourned from July 11th to monitor the defendant's compliance with making specific payments of $240 and then to address the front of the court petition on ordered on arrears obligation. As of today's date, there's only one payment made on this case, which was a $100 payment on August 4th. And then the front of the court would also be seeking to have $107 added onto the case as an ordered on arrears obligation for the defendant.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, you've heard what the front of the court has said. Do you have any disagreement with that?
I just can't do that right now. I want to give him everything I had. I was going to continue to do the best I can.
Well, why can't you do that?
Because I ain't got the money.
Are you working full time?
Nope.
Why not?
Because I don't know. I don't want to discuss my personal business with you, but I'm going to do the best I can.
Well, your personal business is my business because you have a child support order. You've been ordered to pay $214 a month and you paid $100. And then there's
we already went through this, though.
Hey, I'm talking, sir, hey, I'm talking. You have to wait. When you talk, I don't interrupt you, so you don't interrupt me. You have an arrears amount which needs to be addressed. How are you going to do that?
I'm going to continue to make payments. That's all I can tell you.
Well, how are you going to make payments if you're not working full time?
Same thing I did the way I dropped off the $100 payment. I get a little side job. I go drop off of whatever I can do. That's what I've been doing.
Mr. Gonzalez, you don't get to say I'm only going to do part-time work and I'll pay what I think I can afford when you owe more than $10,000 in back child support. You don't get to say I'll do it whenever I get around to it. It's an obligation. Do you understand that you could go to jail for not doing this? Mr. Gonzalez, you're interrupting. Mr. Gonzalez, you're interrupting me again.
Sorry about that.
You could go to jail if I hold you in contempt of court. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then what is it that you're going to do about this, which is more than what you're doing now?
I'm going to continue to do my best.
Which means what?
Continue to make payments just like I've been doing.
What you've been doing so far is not making anywhere near what you need to do. So it's not good enough. That's what I'm telling you. It's not enough. You can't just keep doing the same thing. You owe more money.
You can't pay what you don't got, though, Your Honor. You understand that
part?
part?
If you go get it.
Did you understand that part, though? Because I'm doing everything I possibly can right now. I know you don't know me. I know you heard of.
That's not true. Mr.
You're interrupting me now, though. That's messed up. I'm doing my best out here.
Prove it to me. Well, how many hours a week are you working?
Okay.
How many hours a week are you working?
Probably like 30.
How many did you work the week before that?
I don't know. Probably 20. It all depends.
How many you got scheduled for next week?
I don't got my own business. What do you mean? How much I got scheduled?
So you don't have any idea what you're working next week?
I just let people know that I'm available. They come get me so I can work, then that's awesome. If they don't, I try. I do. Not like I'm out here messing around or doing things I'm not supposed to be doing. I'm living life and trying to do my best. I know it ain't good enough for you, but it's good enough for me. I'm not where I used to be.
Raise
Judge,
your
can I add two
expectations,
things?
sir. Just not screwing up isn't enough when you owe $10,000. All right. I do find that Mr. Gonzalez has not used all of his available time to comply with the court's prior orders, and that he does have the ability to continue to work more than he does now. And the amount of requested obligation on arrears of $107 is within the child support guidelines of being only half of what his current obligation is of $214 a month. So I find that it is an appropriate amount. So from now on, Mr. Gonzalez, you owe $214 a month. You owe 100 towards current support. You owe $107 a month towards your arrearage amount. We're going to monitor, and if you fail to make your payments in full, the friend of the court is going to request contempt of court, and I'm going to send you to jail for not making your child support payments. Do you understand that?
Okay. Do my best. You want to send me to jail? Just send me to jail. Do my best.
All right.
Thank you.
Next case we have is Mr. Gonzalez. Excuse me, Mr. Gonzalez is with Feliciana Garcia. That's 117-16703-UM. Mr. Brzezinski, how are we doing on this case?
This case was adjourned to monitor defendant's compliance with making specific payments of $50. So far, only a $20 payment was made, and that was made on August 4th. This is an arrears-only case with a balance of $2,382.44. And then I would also add that the order on both cases were for him to make specific payments. He was given the specific payment coupons. However, when he made the payment on August 4th, he showed up. He dropped off the money, but he was prepared to leave without making appropriate payment arrangements, so therefore it would have just been dispersed unevenly to each case. And then also, he has not updated his address with the friend of the court. The case manager gave him the change of address form. He left with it. Still no update to his address, though.
All right. What do you have to say for yourself on this case, Mr. Gonzalez?
Talking about when I was waiting for a whole hour in the lobby to get receipts, or what are you talking about? My address? I tried to change it right there. They have my address on a piece of paper. They want me to fill out a paper, so I had to come back where I'm at to get the address because I don't know it by heart.
So where is it?
You want me to screenshot it and send it to the friend of the court, or what do you want me to do? Want me to tell you it over the court? Would that be helpful?
You to send. Are you done talking now, Mr. Gonzalez?
Oh yeah, you keep talking over when I'm talking, but go ahead.
I want you to send in the form to the friend of the court that changes your address. That's what you were told to do. I want you to send in the appropriate paperwork when you bring in a payment, because that's why those forms were given to you, so that they can be credited to the appropriate case.
They just gave me those papers this time, so I got it.
All right, here's the deal. Next month, we're going to have another hearing. For this case, the change of address form and $50 needs to be here, or I'm going to find you in contempt of court.
Yes, sir. Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Brzezinski?
No, Judge. Thank you.
That's all for today, Mr. Gonzalez. See you next month.
Yep.
Mr. Brzezinski?
Yes, Judge.
If you would put a reminder in the court file that I'm wanting to consider contempt on Mr. Gonzalez in both of those cases if he fails to do what he's been told to do.
Okay, yes, I will do that.
Thank you. All right. Next matter is Allison Hilley versus Anthony Shimoniac, file 22-18871-DC. I do see Ms. Hilley is with us. Do we have Mr. Shimoniac with us. Ms. Spillane, have you had any contact from Mr. Shimoniac?
No, sir, I have not.
All right. Ms. Hilley, have you had any contact from Mr. Shimoniac?
No contact, Your Honor.
Do you have any idea where he is today?
No. Over the last week, I've seen him driving around town.
All right. Ms. Spillane, your office has submitted a supplemental petition for show cause. What are you asking me for that, in that, please?
Um, we're
Looks like
seeking,
go ahead.
it looks like we're seeking contempt for failure to pay out of available resources. And due to failure to exercise due diligence on his part.
All right. The petition alleges that he has got an arrearage of $27,095.50, and that he was supposed to pay a bond in the amount of, what was it, $3,000, if I remember correctly, $3,100. But you've not received that payment, and he's paid only a total of $793 since September of 23.
That's
Is
correct.
that all accurate?
Mhm.
All right. All right, I will find him in contempt for failure to pay out of currently available resources, all or some portion of the amount due, and failure to exercise due diligence. I find that since September of 23, he should have been able to pay more than $793. Do we know where the bond amount went to or what happened to it?
Your Honor, I received it.
You got it already?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Spillane, can you
Yep, I'm
confirm?
just gonna verify that real quick.
I see a bond was posted for the 3,100 on 6/12 of 25.
Who was it, Ms. Stinson? Who was that posted with, if you know?
Let me look real quick. It was posted by Mark Shimoniac. Sorry if I said that wrong.
That's all right. And do you know where that was posted at?
It just says forfeiture to FOC. So I'm not sure where it was posted at.
All right. Well, that changes things in my mind a little bit. If he's posted the $3,100 already, we will, seeing how Ms. Hilley's already received that amount, we will indicate that that's been forfeited to friend of the court for payment to Ms. Hilley, and his account will be credited for that off of his arrears balance. I'm going to set this out for another month to see if he makes his payments. If he fails to make his payments, then we'll deal with contempt at that point, but I'm not going to find him in contempt now because he's paid the amount from the bond. Mr. Brzezinski, do you have any other information for me on this?
I was just going to say, I believe that the petition may have been prepared before FOC received the bond check, so that could be where the confusion lies, not that.
All right.
So
I appreciate that. Thank you. Sorry. Given the fact that he's made a $3,100 payment and Ms. Hilley has now received that amount, I will not hold him in contempt today, but we will continue to monitor in the future and we'll consider contempt in the future. All right. Thank you, Ms. Hilley. Appreciate your time here today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Next matter is Caleb Nantel and Taylor Clark. That's file 23-19288-DC. We have Ms. Clark or Mr. Nantel with us. Looks like this one matter was against Taylor Clark. was adjourned from a hearing in June to today's date to monitor income withholding order and for Ms. Clark to show cause why they should not be held in contempt for failure to appear as previously ordered in June. Ms. Spillane, do we have an income withholding order working now?
We do, however, it is falling short of the obligation. Her monthly obligation is $121. We received $109.67 for June, and for July, it was only $80.69.
All right, because of her failure to appear today, let's issue a bench warrant. What do you recommend for bond?
Her balance is only $26.86, so
$500.
that would be sufficient.
All right, let's do that. Thank you. The next matter is Bethany Rose Karanka versus Mark Osborne. It's file 23-19403-DM. Do you see Ms. Osborne? Is it Osborne or Karanka? Ms.
I haven't legally changed it back to Karanka yet.
All right, so Ms. Osborne and Mr. Osborne are both here. We were here, I believe, in June. And then we adjourned it to today's date so that the parties could submit lists of dollars that Mr. Osborne claimed that he had paid, and he wants taken off or credited towards his arrears on child support. Parties have submitted documentation. I've received a very large stack of papers from Mr. Osborne. And I have a smaller stack from Ms. Osborne. It looks like we have some agreement, but not total agreement. So, Mr. Osborne, I'm going to let you tell me what you think that you're entitled to. And then Ms. Osborne, I'm going to let you say what you think should be done. And then we'll kind of go from there and see what happens. So, Mr. Osborne, why don't you tell me a little bit about your packet of information and what you think it shows?
Yes, Your Honor. So I submitted bank statements from September 2023 from the month after she had filed for divorce up until September of last year when my paychecks were garnished when the child support order went through. But according to my records, I paid approximately $16,000 before it was court ordered. Whether it was paying for electricity for the house, so Bethany and the children had electricity. Yeah.
All right. And I see that you've attached to that Northland Area Federal Credit Union statements, a lot of which is blacked out, and I understand the purpose behind that, showing withdrawals on debit cards mostly to kind of back up the dollar amounts that you put on the summary statement. Is that a fair way to characterize that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I do note that most of those, if not all of those, are all cash withdrawals, ATM withdrawals, or that sort of thing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there any other documentation that you have that shows where the money went to?
So when I was giving her cash, I was either personally giving it to Bethany herself, or when I was picking up the children, dropping it off at her grandma's house.
All right. So you did not get receipts for those things is basically what you're telling me. So you've got something that says it came out of my bank account, but you don't have anything that says specifically this is where it went to.
I don't have the receipts, the ATM with receipts, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Well, and again, the ATM, I believe you that you took the money out. I don't have any question about the money coming out of your account. I just wanted to know if you had anything in writing that showed what you spent it on. So the
No.
money comes out of your account on those days, and I believe that you've accurately told me when the money comes out of your account. I just wanted to know if you had any documentation that corroborated where you say it went. Okay. All right. Is there any other information that you want me to have, Mr. Osborne?
I mean, for the most part, Your Honor, it was at the beginning of filing for divorce before the court order. I wasn't very consistent for a few months, and then I was consistent, $500 every time I got paid, whether it was my disability check or a paycheck. If for some reason my paycheck and disability check fell on the same day, she got $500 from both payments, so it would be $1,000. I also
Okay.
paid for electricity for the household when I was not living there. I was in between staying, at a friend's house, couch surfing and everything else. And I didn't even include, I paid for a hockey registration fee for my son. I paid for internet for the children while I was not living there. I didn't include all that.
Okay. The Great Lakes Energy, small amounts, $20, is that what you're referring to as paying the utilities?
Yes, Your Honor. So at the time, the way our electricity was set up, we didn't get billed monthly. We prepaid for our electricity. So, we would prepay $25 for, worth of electricity, and then, another $50, $60, whatever. We prepaid for our electricity.
Okay, so that's what all those refer to. I'm looking to see if there's anything else that I have a question on at the moment. All right, I think that's all for right now. I may have some more questions after Ms. Osborne makes her requests. All right, Ms. Osborne, I've seen your documentation, and it looks like you kind of used his summary pages and said some of the things that you agree with. So let's talk about the ones that you don't agree with. Like for September of 2023, he's put down two payments, or two what he calls payments. ATM withdraw on September 18th of 105.50 and September 29th for 104. Why do you believe that that was not child support?
Because so at that time, he was sporadically in the home. I filed for divorce. He said he was going to go to therapy. He didn't want a divorce. So there were periods of where we tried to reconcile. It obviously did not work. But we didn't have any agreements on child support at that time because I was still on joint accounts. So I don't remember, I don't have any documentation or any memory of those. Now, he is correct that we did eventually get on a schedule where he was giving me $500 out of most paychecks, sometimes less. And those are the ones that I for sure remembered and I noted on here. And
Okay.
you can even with those that they are spaced out like every 2 weeks, like his paychecks would be.
He says, again, just going back to, and I'll have more questions as we go down this in a minute, but he says September of 2023, he made two payments to you. You just don't have any specific memory of that. Would that be fair to say?
No memory and no record of it. I mean,
all right.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
When I filed and we finally started doing the child support case, I had spoken in front of the court. And unfortunately spent all this time looking for my text messages, but I don't have them. But I had sent him a message because I had spoken in front of the court and they suggested that any money he paid before garnishment, that he paid through them. I gave him that information. I said, look, they want you to pay through them so they can keep track of it.
That's
He
so that we don't have this problem that we're having today.
Yes, he refused. He said he
All right.
wasn't doing it. He went through periods where he told me, I'm not giving you any money until they garnish my check. So there were some months where I didn't get anything. As far as the Great Lakes Energy goes, that was our marital home. That's not child support. That is, we were still married. And he was still in and out of the home. He was in and out of the home up until March of 24.
So because you think he was in and out of the home, he's not supposed to get any credit for any utility payments during that period of time?
I just don't think it's considered child support money.
What is it?
It's the home. It's the home that had his stuff in it, just like it had my own stuff in it. It was the home that had, his pets.
Okay, you say he's in and out though, but was he there most of the time? Was he benefiting from paying for the utilities?
I can't say how often he was there and how often he wasn't.
Your
All right,
Honor, I was living with a friend from about September up until late January when her dad passed away, and then she invited me back into the house to help emotionally with the children with their grandfather passing away.
All right. What's the status of the house right now? Who's in it? Who has it?
No, neither of us.
What
It was a
happened to
land
it?
contract. It was a land contract that fell through when we split up. They
Okay,
took
so
it back.
all right, so basically we should treat it as a rental then. It was just something that some place that you were staying in.
Yeah.
Because nobody's benefited from the long-term asset then, right? All right, so in the payments for Great Lakes start in, looks like November. I see a couple in November. I see a bunch in December. And then I see some in January, February.
And that would be it because that's when we moved.
All right. So when you say he was there on a somewhat basis, I mean, is he there most of the time through those months? Is he there only part-time? Is he there a few nights a month?
He was there. He was primarily staying with his friend. But I work midnights and he would come and stay with the kids on occasion while I worked. So it wasn't like he was gone solidly for all of those months. He was in the home on nights that I worked. He was invited to stay with them for Christmas that year because I had to work and he just stood them up. He didn't show up. It's really hard to tell how often he was there or wasn't there.
Were you making any payments towards the utilities?
Yes, I worked full-time for months in healthcare, and I was paying also we've had separate bank accounts for years. So that shows what he was paying, but I made payments as well, along with, at the time, I made all of the rent payments.
How much typically was your Great Lakes bill per month from September through February?
It varied a lot because it was a trailer, and so it varied on temperatures because we had to keep our pipes from freezing.
Well, for instance, in December, I see him paying $170 to Great Lakes just in December. That seems to me like he's paying the majority of the utility bill at that point. And if you said he didn't show up for Christmas, so he must not have been in December, must not have been present in the house a lot. And it went for the benefit of you and the kids. So why would that not be child support?
That's just my opinion. I mean, if that's why we're here today. So
All right. All right, so talked about September, October, 2 withdrawals. He's indicated there was 340. You've indicated in October you only accept 300. Why don't you accept the other $40?
Never did he just give me $40. He only gave me large amounts, anywhere from $200 to $500. There's things on here like where he's given his son money. I feel like he went through his bank statement and literally every single withdrawal put it on this list. And I don't know what half of it's for, where half of it went.
All right, in December of 23, there's an ATM withdrawal for $100 that you didn't accept. Why didn't you accept that one? December 1st, 2023.
Because I don't have any record or memory of it.
Same thing in January of 2024. There's a 1/1 ATM withdrawal for $100. January 1st, New Year's Day of 24. No memory of that?
No, I highlighted the ones that I knew for sure that he gave me.
Same thing on the 12th, it was $100. Same thing on the 16th, 104.
Because he gave me money on payday and that was it. Like he didn't give me money multiple times a week.
All right. Then in February, there's one listed for February 1st of 24, an ATM withdrawal of $2,000. You've said that was for dad's funeral, your dad's funeral?
It was my dad, his father-in-law, who helped raise his children for 13 years. And I asked him if he could help with dad's funeral. And he said that he could. And that's why he gave me that money for the funeral. That had nothing to do with the kids, which is why you see on the 3rd where he gave me the $500 in child support.
All right. I'm going to come back and talk to you about that, Mr. Osborne. Right. There's a March 2024, March 5th, 2024, Gaylord Little League, $103. Why would that not be child support?
Because that was, at that time, we were in the same home at that time, and that was just paying for his child sports, just like I pay for them now.
But he's paying for the kids to play Little League, right? No, I'm asking, I want to understand this. Is that?
For our daughter, for her softball. Yeah, that's what it was for.
All right. At the end of March, there's a withdrawal from it's labeled Walmart 10350. Do you have any memory as to that?
No.
Okay.
Your Honor, can I say something on the April 4th one?
I'm gonna come back to you and for all of these things, sir. So I just want to make sure I've got what she wants to say, and then I'm going to come back to you and talk to you about those things as well. So make a note if you need to, but I'll get back to you. Don't worry.
Yes, Your Honor.
On April 1st, Northland Area Credit Union, $2,800.
Yeah.
You have
So
no memory of this?
Well, after filling this out and giving it to you guys, I spoke to my oldest son. This one specifically. So like I said, March of 24 is when we permanently split and police had him removed from the property. He took my son. Actually, my son drove my truck to take him to look at a car because he was driving my son's car and my son took his car back. That is the amount that he paid for his Subaru at the beginning of April. His Subaru. That one had nothing to do with me.
All right. In May of 24, there's a May 2nd family fare, $400. No memory of that one?
I don't have memory of that, but that was just one that I didn't have written down. I didn't have any memory of.
All right. In August of 24, August 21st, there's a Speedway withdrawal of $263.50. No memory of that?
No, and never did he give me $263 or 200. I'm assuming 260 because that's an ATM fee, but no, never did he give me $260.
All right. Is there any other, so your total basically is, you think he did pay you $7,400 in what you've called child support? Is that's the figure that you want me to use?
That is the figure that I came up with, but I trust your judgment.
All right. I appreciate that. Thank you. Is there any other information that you want me to know at this point?
I mean, I already told you that I offered him to pay through friend of the court. He refused it.
Yep.
You're right. This is why I wanted him to pay through them. Because every time he would get angry about something, he'd say, well, I'm not paying you this time. So it was all over the place. We had an agreement written out that me and him verbally came up with, and it was for $500 every paycheck. But then when we went to court, he refused to sign it.
No, Bethany, you wanted $500
Okay,
per
Mr.
child.
Mr. Osborne, I told you I'm going to give you a chance to rebut anything that you need to, but I can't have the parties arguing with each other when I'm trying to ask questions of one side. Okay, so it has to go back and forth, and you have to let me do things in a manner that makes sense to me because I'm the one that has to make the decision today. Okay?
Yes,
So
Your Honor.
I'm going to give you a chance to say what you need to say. We just need to do it in an orderly fashion. All right. So let me make my notes and then I'm going to just about ready to come back to you. All right. Mr. Osborne, this is your opportunity, and I am going to have some specific questions for you, but this is your opportunity to make whatever rebuttal statements that you want to make. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So I will agree with Bethany for the April 1st for my car. As I was doing the paperwork after, redoing everything. Yes, it was for my car. And I do apologize. And as far as the agreement that Bethany was just talking about, she wanted $500 per child, so $2,000 a month. But what I don't understand, Your Honor, for a year and a half now, my 4 children have not lived in the same household together. 2 of my children are living with her mom. 2 of my children are living with her sister. So why is it that I am paying an exorbitant amount in child support when they don't even live with Bethany? They have not lived with Bethany in over a year.
So what you're telling me is not that the child support should be reduced, but that it shouldn't be directed to her.
Yes, Your Honor. And like I said, if I'm paying exorbitant amount, why is she not paying child support to her mom and her sister?
We'll take up that question in a minute. The question right now is what should your child support be? Okay, so is there anything else that you want me to know about your child support?
No, I mean, I'm just now getting called up from February when my car got totaled out. I am just now getting caught up on bills that I had to put off in order to get another vehicle. I'm finally, I'm only getting just over $500 a paycheck for 2 weeks. Because September last year, as soon as the judge signed the order, my paychecks got garnished. And for the longest time, I wasn't even receiving $500 paychecks for months.
What is it that you want me to do about that? The amount of child support has been set based on your income levels and the amount of parenting time and the number of children that you have. You haven't told me any reason why that's been done in error. So what is it that you want me to do with the information that you just told me?
I just want to know why the child support is going to Bethany and not towards her mom and her sister.
All right, but that's question number 2. Question number 1 for today was how much credit should you receive for child support that you've paid in the past? So that's the question I'm working on right now. I'll get to question number 2 in a minute.
So if you deduct that 2,800 from April 1st from the roughly 16,000, that brings it what? I'm terrible at math.
Well, I'm gonna add things up in just a minute, but I wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity to tell me any other facts that you wanted to about your claims that you've made in this documentation, and any rebuttal or any questions or any responses to anything that Ms. Osborne has said.
Yeah, and then as far as the $2,000 in February 2024, I was getting ready to leave for Boston, Massachusetts for mental health treatment for 2 weeks. Her father had just passed away. Yes, did I give her money? I gave her money for support. What she chose to do with that money, that was on her. If she wanted to use that for her dad's funeral, that was on her. But I gave her, I wanted to make sure that she had enough money for the 2 weeks or whatever that I was gone.
Did she ask you for money for your dad, for her dad's funeral?
She said she was struggling to figure out how to pay for her dad's funeral.
All right. And then, so on February 1st, you gave her $2,000. And then February 3rd, there's a withdrawal from the Northland Area Credit Union for $500. And that looks like it's the same as most months in the past where you gave $500. And she's indicated that was for child support. So they do appear to be 2 separate transactions. You have any answer for that?
Like I said, Your Honor, I gave her the $2,000 before I went to Boston, and on top, I wanted to make sure she had extra money. Like I said, what she chose to do with it, that was on her. If she wanted to use the money I gave her for the kids for her dad's funeral, that was on her. Because I knew I was going to be gone for a couple of weeks.
All right. Any other information that you want me to be aware of, Mr. Osborne?
I think that is it, Your Honor.
All right. This exercise that we just went through is exactly why the friend of the court recommends that payments not be made between the parties, because memories fade, records are incomplete, intentions are malleable. That is, that they change over time or with memory. Understanding of how things are supposed to be done differ between the parties. And I'm left with a mess on both sides. It would have been much simpler and cleaner if the parties had simply said, all right, make your payments through the friend of the court's office. Then there's no question about who paid what for what. If it came to the friend of the court, it's for the kids. There's no issue with any of that. It's cut and dry. So, Mr. Osborne, at some point, you want to claim that it's on her. You gave her money and how she spent it's on her. Well, your failure to go to the friend of the court, some of this is going to be on you because you chose not to. And you don't have the records to back up where some of this money went to. And it's clear to me that some of this money that you've claimed for child support wasn't, like with the car.
That
So
was an honest mistake, Your Honor.
I'm not saying that you intentionally tried to rip me off here or to do something. I'm just saying that your records aren't accurate for whatever reason. And that's, again, that's why we say the payment should be made to the friend of the court, because then there is a paper trail and there's no question by sending it to the friend of the court that it was intended to be for child support. So every dime that you put in would have been credited to you for child support. Instead of us having to think about, well, was it for a car payment? Was it for a funeral payment? Was it for a utility payment? Was it for this? Was it for that? I don't know, quite frankly. Each of you have limited memories, and quite frankly, that's normal. I wouldn't be able to go back on my spending a year from now, past bills, and say specifically this was absolutely paid for that particular thing when I took everything out in cash.
Your Honor, can I say one thing? The few times that I did give Bethany a money order, she screamed at me because she wanted cash instead of a money order.
Okay. Here's the deal, Mr. Osborne. If you're going to be a businessman and take care of how your business is run, you don't get to complain about how the customers treat you. You just do what you need to do to make sure that your bills are paid. And that's what this is. This is a business transaction. Whether one side's happy about it or not, there's a bill that's owed. You owe a certain amount of money to raise your kids. And I get it that there is an emotional part of that because it is your kids and it is your family. And I understand that. But the bottom line when you're dealing with dollars and cents is it is a business transaction. So I'm sorry that you got yelled at for making a payment. But I can't do anything about that. And I can't change the amount that you owe for those payments. Now, it could be easier for you if she would be nice. And I'm not finding that she wasn't nice, but under your circumstances, it would be nicer if she was nicer about it. But that doesn't change that you owe the payments and when you owe the payments and how much the payments are. So let's just drop the worries about how it was paid and under what circumstances it was paid. And let's just focus on what was paid and what wasn't paid. And from here going forward, this is a business transaction, right? So here's what I'm going to do. Because I can't prove exactly what payments were made and when, it makes sense to me to use things that were done on a regular basis as the main things for this. And I see a fairly decent pattern here of $300 or $500 payments being made on a regular basis. And Ms. Osborne has noted those on a regular basis. So I'm going to give Mr. Osborne credit for all of those normal, what appear to be normal $300 payments. So I see one in October of 23. I see a $500 in December of 23. I see 500 and a 300 in January. I see a 500 and another 500 in February. I see 500 in March, and I see a 300 and a 400 in April, and then I see a 500 and 300 in May. So he's going to get credit for all of those things. That's the easy part of all of this, okay? I am also going to give him credit for the Great Lakes Energy bills because I believe that the children benefited for the most part. Now, he may have been there for some of those things, but I am going to give him credit for the payment of the utilities. So I'm going to give $80 in utilities for November. I'm going to give $170 for utilities in December. Let me add them up in January. 150, 105, 125, 125 in January of 24. Looks like 145 in February. Nothing in March for utilities, nothing in April, nothing in May. So I'm going to add those amounts in as utilities. And then quite frankly, I don't know what to do with some of these other payments. Ms. Osborne has said she doesn't have any memory of them. Mr. Osborne claims that he made these payments. So I'm simply going to split them down the middle. In September of 2023, there's two payments, one of 105.50 and one of 104. That's 209.50. So we're going to do $105 for September. The small amounts for $40 in October, I'm not going to give because that doesn't appear to be a normal payment. I have no idea what that was for. All right, in December, we have an ATM withdrawal of 100 on December 1st, and then another one on December 24th. So I'm going to give one of those. So an additional $100 in December of 23. January of 24, there's a $100 withdrawal in January 1st. On January 12th, another $104 on January 16th. And then January 25th, there's $104. So that's $400. So I'm going to give you plus $200 in January. Smaller amounts for $64 and $64 on January 6th. I'm not going to do because I don't believe small amount payments. Ms. Osborne testified there weren't small amount payments, so I'm not going to do those. In February of 2024, I'm not going to give credit for the $2,000. I believe that was done for Dad's funeral because there's a $500 payment 2 days later for what would be the normal child support. So testimony that this was for the funeral specifically and not for the children appears to be accurate to me. So I'm not going to give that. All right, so there's no other payments. I've already given the utility payments there. March of 24, I'm going to give $100 for the Gaylord Little League. And then there was a ATM withdrawal on March 2nd for $100 and an ATM withdrawal on March 31st for $103. So I'm going to give another $100, split the amounts there. April of 24, I'm not going to give the $2,800 requested because that defendant has admitted that was for the car. An ATM withdrawal from Speedway on April 24th for $100 and an ATM withdrawal from Northland Area Credit Union for $200. That's a total of $300. So I'm going to give him $150 for that. May of 24, there was a $400 withdrawal from Family Fair, or at Family Fair, and then another one, Northland Credit Union for $100. Ms. Osborne did not give, so that's a total of $500. So I'm going to give him $250 credit there. In June of 24, she gave credit for 2 out of the 3 payments. There was a withdrawal for $304 on June 3rd. So I'm going to give him credit for $150 there. July, there was a withdrawal at the Easy Mart for $203.50, and then also on July 7th from the Northland Credit Union for $120. That's $320, so $160 credit. And then in August, there was a $263, which she said she never got, a $260 payment, but I'm still going to give him credit for $130, half of that there. All right, so give me a minute to add all these up. All right, I get a total of $9,365.
Can you repeat that number again, Your Honor?
$9,365. And that's the amount that I'm going to give him credit for off of his arrears. Ms. Spillane, do you have that number? All right, you're on mute, so I didn't hear you, but I do see you nodded. All right. So we will give credit for that, $9,365. All right, Ms. Osborne, Mr. Osborne has raised the question of where the kids are staying and whether or not you're entitled to some of those funds. Where are the children right now?
This has been addressed multiple times in court now. I have property that I'm building on. In fact, we just made more progress on it. When I'm working, my 2 younger children, they stay with my sister overnight on the nights that I work because I work midnights.
Okay.
They get picked up by me. Like I worked last night, I'm doing this now, and I'm leaving here to pick them up. And then they're with me. My 2 older children stay at my mom's because they ride together to school because they're both in high school. However, and when I say my mom's, that is the property where we're building. That's my legal address. That's the property I'm building my house on. That's where my camper is at the moment. As far as everything else, I mean, I pay my sister to babysit. I give her money almost every week, or anytime she asks. And I do all the transportation for all 4 children. Well, my oldest drives, but for the 3 children that don't drive, I provide all transportation to and from school, to and from sports. I feed them, I clothe them. I mean, they're with me every minute that they can be with me
All right.
when I'm working.
Mr. Osborne, do you have any information that disputes that?
Yeah, I actually have a text message from her sister stating that they live with her full time.
When was the text message sent to you?
Within the last few months. I'd have to go through my phone.
And why was the text message sent to you?
For a while, the only way I can get any information from my children, and even to this day, I receive more information about my children from her sister than I do through Bethany. Trying to communicate with Bethany about the children is almost virtually impossible at times.
All right. You've not filed an official motion about this. So from all I can tell today from her testimony is that the children are with her on a regular basis. She's the custodian of the children, and she's allowed to have babysitters and allow the children to spend nights at relatives' homes. So without something more from you, I do not find that there's a sufficient basis for me to make a decision otherwise at this point. So your oral motion to change where the child support is being sent to is denied. And you can, if you believe that there's additional information that you have about that, you can file a written motion in the future. All right.
Okay.
Ms. Spillane, is there anything else that we need to do today?
No, sir.
All right. That'll be the
Yeah.
order of the court. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ms. Osborne.
There is one other thing that was supposed to be addressed that I have spoken to Miss Spillane about, is when he says that his paychecks are being garnished, his 2 paychecks are being garnished. He has a paycheck from the Army on the 1st of every month that is $2,700 that Miss Spillane has tried to have garnished unsuccessfully. So that money I have never seen a dime of. And up to this date, he has never paid his full monthly amount. He's still not paying his full monthly amount, which is why he's continuing to get further behind, because he doesn't pay anything out of that paycheck on the 1st.
All right. Ms. Spillane, have you received any records to indicate what his military amounts are?
When he filled out his paperwork for the initial child support recommendation, he did notify us what he was making from his military benefits. Those were factored into the calculation, and we do not have an income withholding for the military. It's my understanding it's kind of a different procedure and can be difficult. He may
It
have
is.
to potentially do something on his end to allow us to do that.
All right. But either way, that amount has been factored into the amount of the child support.
Absolutely.
And as long as he's making his child support payments, whether that's through income withholding or otherwise, that amount has been put into play already. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So Ms. Osborne, all I can tell you at this point is whether we get income withholding from the military or not, that amount has been factored into the amount that you should be receiving in child support. And we will take enforcement action if he's not making his obligations on a regular basis. So I find at this point that there's nothing more for me to do about that at the moment. All right, we're going to give Mr. Osborne credit. Ms. Spillane, is the income withholding order currently taking out the sufficient to meet his obligation on a monthly basis, or is it not yet?
It has a few times, but it looks like recently he's been about $400 short, pretty consistently $400 to $500 short.
All right. Then what we're going to do is we're going to monitor this for the next 6 months on a monthly basis. We'll have a review hearing on a monthly basis. And if Mr. Osborne makes his obligations in full for 6 months, then we'll take off the review. If he doesn't make his obligation in full, whether that's through income withholding or if he has to pay extra, then we'll consider contempt of court for his failure to pay out of available funds. All right, that'll be the order of the court. That's all for today then. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This is filed as a demand for non-payment of rent. This is a new complex just on the edge of Centerville with 54 units in it. Is that correct?
Yes.
And the rents are about $1,000 a month. And I had expected once the place was up, we'd start to see cases from there. We haven't seen very many, but we're starting to see them. Also here, on the complaint are Sarah Strout and Joseph Whitaker. Ms. Hively has a personal protection order against Joseph Whitaker, which is file number 25234PP, which prohibits Mr. Whitaker from coming to that address. And that order was issued by Judge Pattison in March. Well, the posture of the case is in right now, it's a demand for non-payment of rent, that the rent is delinquent. Mr. Bush has provided me with a accounting sheet, which I greatly appreciate. At this point through August, Mr. Bush, you contend the rent arrearage is $3,000.
Yes, sir.
With a $213 in cost, 67 cents, and $120 in late fees through August. The amount is $3,333.67. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Hively, you sent me a letter and set forth the background here, and I'm aware of the circumstances. I also got some other correspondence and some emails, but this is simply a matter of whether the rent is paid or not. At this point, they contend that your rent through August is $3,000, which means it hasn't been paid in June, July, or August. What's your position?
I sent you a copy of the payment history.
Yes.
I do believe it was paid in June. I'm not 100% sure, but
well, you sent me this thing. It shows March, April, May. That doesn't show June.
Okay. Well, here's the thing, Your Honor. I'm not opposed to non-payment. That's not where I had asked for a written early termination due to domestic violence because he would not leave the property and nobody was making him leave the property.
Well, it's not the landlord can make him leave the property with a legal action, but they can't just force him out. But theoretically, he was in violation of the PPO, and the sheriff should have been. So are you no longer there?
I left there in March, and then I asked in March, I sent you a screenshot of mine and her conversations where I asked for an early termination due to the events that were taking place and the abuse that was taking place. Because I could no longer stay there and nobody was forcing him out.
All right. Let's talk about this. So are you willing to just relinquish the unit? Do you have all your stuff out?
No, I ended up, I went there one day with the police officers. They still wouldn't make him leave even with the PPO order. I don't know why. They didn't give me an explanation. I was able to grab one carload of things and we fled to another state because he was threatening to kill me. But this eviction is going to cause problems for my future because nobody's going to want to rent to me because of his abuse and his choices and his decision. And I didn't have anybody supporting me to get away from him.
All right. So you're out, you're not living there, but all your stuff is still there?
Yeah, I just pretty much washed my hands of the whole situation. I don't want nothing to do with him. He was still there up until I guess the police officers made him leave. Yeah, I just don't want anything to do with that man or my belongings. I can start over. That's fine.
Sir?
Is he there?
Yes, I'm here right now.
All right. Well, you're late to your own party.
No, I've been trying to log in, but it wasn't working. Sir, she has charges.
Well, just a minute. Just a minute. Are you Joseph Whitaker?
I am, sir.
All right. I ask you to take your hat off.
Your Honor, I even have an email from
Stop. All right. Mr. Whitaker, are you still at this apartment? No, he's frozen. Mr. Whitaker.
Yes.
Are you still living there at this address?
I am. Yes.
All right. Well, you got to pay the rent. You owe $3,000 in rent, $213 in court costs, $120 in late fees. So the total amount of rent due is $3,333.67.
I applied for the MDHHS, the SER, the SIR application. I'm just waiting to hear back.
All right. One of the problems is the personal protection order that's in effect prohibits you from being at 219 Venture Boulevard, Apartment 1. So you have a personal protection order in effect that says you're not supposed to live there.
It shouldn't be in effect anymore. I had went in and what is it called?
Still is, Your Honor.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
I called and made sure from the judge.
Stop, Mr. Whitaker. The order is in effect. You don't just call up and ask them to drop it. Judge Pattison ordered
I didn't call. I actually went there. I even tried to serve her. I tried to serve her papers to go to court for that, and she never showed up.
All right. The PPO is in effect. You're not supposed to be living there, but she's not there. So I guess maybe it's not as important. I can't imagine they're going to give you money to pay your rent on a place that you're not supposed to be living at. But the law requires I adjourn this for 7 days.
Okay.
And then I'm going to tell you that you owe $3,333.67 by 10 days from next Friday, which would be 26 bucks. I'm sorry?
That was on her end. I don't know.
Yeah, Miss Hively, what did you want to say?
No, that wasn't me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was just
Anyway, Miss Hively, you're out of there. So it's less crucial for you because you don't really care. If he doesn't pay the rent, he has to move out and that's up to him. If
Well, I
we
had
get
to
to,
leave. I didn't have a choice. He wouldn't leave. I even have an email from him saying, please don't kick me out. That's why he ended up putting his hands on me. Because I
No,
wouldn't
I
let him
never
come
put
back.
her. I never.
all right,
Shut up,
stop,
Tasha.
stop, stop. This isn't a PPO hearing. It's a non-payment of rent hearing.
Yeah.
And we're quite busy next Friday. 9, 20, 10, 10, 10, 30, 11.
Embarrassing.
John, you're gonna have several of these. How about if we continue this to 8:30 on Friday, August 15th? Does that work for you? Oh, that's the first, that's Judge Patterson's pretrial date.
Are you talking the 18th, Your Honor?
Yes, the 15th, Friday the 15th.
Okay, I have one already with you. I have one pretrial right now scheduled early that morning.
What,
I think I have something.
Which case do you have with me?
I don't know. I think it's set about
Memory
10:30.
Memory Lane at 10:30.
Mhm.
Let's set this for 10:40
That should work.
on August 15th. All right, Miss Hively.
Yes, sir.
You're also welcome to be here. I'm going to tell him that the rent has to be paid or he's subject to being evicted. It's unlikely he's going to get emergency financial assistance for a house he's not supposed to be in. But we'll see where that goes. If the rent is paid, then you get to stay. If the rent is not paid, then he's going to have to move out by August 25th or be subject to being evicted. But we will revisit this entire matter next Friday at 10:40.
Your Honor, can we make inquiry? Where is Sarah Stout, the other defendant?
Yeah, where is Sarah Stout?
I'm here.
All right, who is she?
She's named in the complaint.
Yeah, how are you related to this, Miss Stout?
She was my roommate.
All right, so she's with Natasha. And
Your
she
Honor,
was also,
minute, can I say something as well?
yes,
Sarah moved Joseph in. Joseph is never even on the lease. We rented to Tasha and Sarah.
I didn't move.
I moved in the same time they did.
No, he wasn't welcome there, Your Honor, and I have proof of
Tasha,
it if you need it.
Stop lying, dude. You gave me the house key. You gave me the house key. Stop lying.
all right.
Your Honor, like I said, I have proof if you need it.
Oh, yes, and I do too. God.
Well, let's take a look at the lease. Well, anyway,
I actually moved in before they did, to be honest with you, a week before they did.
well, you're not on the lease.
Well, I didn't
And
know
you're
that.
not supposed to, you're not on the lease and you're not supposed to be there pursuant to a personal protection order. They're not going to give you any financial assistance to live there. You're not on the lease. So
I went to court for that PP order. I don't know why it's saying
you
it's
did
active.
go to court. It hasn't been dismissed.
It should have been.
Well, perhaps, but it has not been. He's not on the lease. So I don't know what the deal is, but somebody's got to pay the rent. And Natasha and Sarah are not going to pay it. So my advice to you, Mr. Whitaker, is you find another place to move to, because I'm going to give you 10 days from next Friday to move. They're not going to give you any emergency financial assistance for a property on which you're not on the lease. So, all right, we'll address this further next Friday. That took us
I
much.
have a question. This is
Yes.
Natasha. Is this eviction going to be on my record?
It will be unless we otherwise resolve it.
So, due to no fault of my own and nobody making him leave, it's going to be on my record.
Hey, take responsibility, Tasha.
I'm going to mute him. Yes. Nobody put you on a relationship with him. I'm not sure what happened, and I don't know why.
No. I wasn't in a relationship with him. I'm trying to tell you. I have an email from him telling him not to kick him out, and I told him he was never welcome there in the first place. Sarah had a relationship with him. Her and I had an agreement. He was not supposed to be there. He was not welcome there.
on you guys, but yes, it will go on your record unless it's somehow otherwise resolved. So I'll see you next Friday at 10:40.
Your Honor, do I need to be here too?
Are you Sarah?
Yes, I am Sarah.
Oh, I didn't realize you were, yes, you're welcome to be there too, Sarah. So you were in the relationship with Joseph?
Yes.
All right, this is even more complicated than I thought. I thought she was. Yes, but as far as I can see, you don't want to come back there anyway. So yes,
No.
you should all come back. All right, thank you. I'll remove you as well. So Sarah was here. She was not properly named. I didn't know who she was. All right, we're off like a herd of turtles. Mr. Whitaker, I'm going to remove you also and send you into the great wide open. Good morning, ma'am. Are you Charity Ann Miller?
Good morning.
This is Judge Middleton. You're wanted in the state of Indiana, and my understanding is that you're willing to waive extradition and go back to Indiana. It's Elkhart County. At this time, you're alleged to be what's called a fugitive from justice. You're wanted in Elkhart County on a charge of possession of methamphetamine and perhaps a probation issue. Our file number here is 2515181EX. And is it my understanding, Ms. Miller, that you're willing to waive extradition and go back to Indiana and have this matter addressed?
The probation violation, correct?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, that's the only thing it should be.
All right, well, let me read you what this says. I, Charity Miller, am wanted in Elkhart County, Indiana on a crime of possession of methamphetamine, potentially probation violation. I waive the issuance of a Michigan governor's warrant and other procedures incidental to the extradition proceedings, including the right to an attorney unless I've already retained one. Here's the important language. I voluntarily agree to return to the demanding state of Indiana in the custody of the agent of that state. Do you agree to do that?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, I'm going to send this waiver of extradition form. I've signed it, send it back out to the jail for you to sign it. Then they call Elkhart. Elkhart can come pick you up. Maybe they'll set a bond. You can address this matter. Okay?
Okay.
All right, this form's coming out for you to sign, and Elkhart can come pick you up and you can address your Indiana charges. All right, thank you. And good luck to you, Ms. Miller. Now we'd like to speak to Kiara Leak.
Thank you.
All right, we need to get that waiver of extradition back to the jail. Good morning, ma'am. Are you Kiara Tiana Leak?
Yes, sir.
All right, my name is Judge Middleton. I'm here in Centerville. You're from Pontiac?
Yes, sir.
Also with me is Mr. Keith Stickley. He's the Chief Public Defender for St. Joe County. The prosecutor is charged with resisting and obstructing a police officer. Let me read it to you. The complaint alleges that on August 6th, that'd be 2 days ago, in the city of Three Rivers, you did resist, assault, batter, wound, oppose, or endanger Jason Van Dyken of the Sheriff's Department. Resisting and obstructing, the way it's charged, is a felony. It's punishable by up to 2 years imprisonment or fine of up to $2,000. Because it is a felony, you have a right to have a preliminary examination and a pre-exam conference in this case. So let me take care of that first.
Can I say something, sir?
Sure, I'll give me a minute.
Okay.
I'm gonna appoint an attorney. I'm gonna set a pre-exam conference for August 19th at 8:30 and a prelim if needed for August 26, 25 at 1. Now, I don't know much about you at all. There's no criminal history. There's no nothing in here. Let me ask you a couple questions. Do you still live on Possum Street in Pontiac?
I live on 596 Ras Cobb in Pontiac.
How'd you happen to be in Three Rivers?
I'm a travel nurse.
Traveling nurse?
Yes, sir.
Were you doing a stint at Three Rivers Hospital?
Optalis.
Oh, Optalis. Are you on probation or parole?
No, not at all.
Are you RN or LPN?
I'm an RN.
I don't hand those out like bubblegum cards. You always have something on the ball. You have a family?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about that.
I just paid my mom through school and she just became an LPN. I have 2 kids that my mom is taking care of right now. And it's really just us.
All right. So you're employed, you're not on probation, you're not on parole. Have you ever been charged with anything like this before?
No, sir.
I'll tell you the truth, there ain't much info in here. I don't want you to tell me anything about what happened. I'm just gonna tell you what I know. The allegation is that you got stopped in the city of Three Rivers for a non-moving violation. I don't even know what that means. Deputy asked Ms. Leak to exit the vehicle. She would not and refused. Gave her several chances and informed her if she didn't comply, she would be removed. So they pulled you out of the car and charged you with resisting obstructing. Where did this take place? McDonald's?
Yep, I had just got off work at 11. I had worked from 6 in the morning to 11 at night. And I pulled up into the McDonald's just to get something to drink before I went to the hotel.
All right, I'm gonna let you out of jail. I'm gonna give you a bond of $2,000 CR. The only condition is that you show up for court. Now, they're going to give you some paperwork. The bond is $2,000 personal recognizance. I'm not even worried about any bond conditions. You're a registered nurse. They're going to give you paperwork with your lawyer's name and number on it. I believe her name is going to be Rhonda Ives. I want you to call that lawyer, make an appointment to discuss your case with her. There may be some body camera videos or car videos or police reports that you guys will want to take a look at. Your next hearing is set for August 19th at 8:30. Are you expected to be back at Optalis?
I have a great relationship with them, and I work there often, probably like 5 times a week.
All right, well, I'm letting you out of jail. So I want you to call the lawyer, make an appointment. Your next hearing is August 19th at 8:30. Okay? You have any questions?
I just wanted to know, are these charges is what you're also charging me with too?
No, I'm not charging you with anything. The prosecutor charged you. I'm just telling you what the charges are.
So the prosecutor did actually with what the officer said.
Now, this is important to you because a felony charge could affect your nursing license. So you need a lawyer. So I got you one and I gave you a PR bond. I can't do much more than that for you at this point, but I'll see you on August 19th.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, now we're gonna deal with Daniel Gary. He can be difficult. He's on the spectrum. He's got some other issues. I thought this was taken care of yesterday, but apparently it was not.
Let me sit, sir. Want to sit here? Yep, sit right there, bud.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Gary. This is Judge Middleton. Also,
Mr. Middleton.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Stickley is here from the Public Defender Office. They charge you with a couple of misdemeanors. Let's talk about them. They allege in this complaint that on or about August 7th, which was yesterday, you did make a domestic assault upon your girlfriend, Ashley Marie Brown, and you did interfere with a crime report by attempting to take her phone away from her and throwing it on the ground. Domestic assault is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. The other charge is a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine of up to $1,000. Mr. Gary, if I let you out, where would you go?
It's to my house.
On 6th Street?
Yeah, she left, when she left, she took my phone. And she.
All right, well, does Ashley live at the same address?
She's my fiance.
Well, if I let you out of jail, you can't have contact with her.
I'd go with I'd have my mom and dad come and get me. I guess.
All right, your mom lives in Constantine.
No, my mom lives in Colton.
Oh, she's in Colton, that's right. Well, I'm gonna show a plea of not guilty. I'm gonna appoint an attorney. I'm gonna set an attorney pretrial for 9/5/25. That's my date with Attorney Ives. That's at 8:30. The question is, what do I do with your bond? I'm not gonna just leave you in jail indefinitely on this charge, but I don't want any other problems. Daniel, you and I have met a number of times over the years.
Yeah, you know, my word's good, sir. I promise you nothing will ever happen. It was just a misunderstanding between me and her over the phone, man. And she should have told me she left the phone. It would have been different for me, her trying to grab my phone or her phone, you know. She would just said something.
All right, here's the deal. Lay out of jail on a bond. I'm gonna set bond at $1,000 PR.
Oh, you mean you're gonna let me out on PR? Oh, fucking sorry, sir. Thank you, sir.
No, don't undo it.
I won't, I promise you.
No drugs and no alcohol, Daniel. You sometimes can go down and test as directed. No weapons, no assaultive behavior, and no contact with Ashley Brown. So you're gonna have to stay at your folks.
For how long? Until next court date?
The next court date is September 5th. Do you have anything else holding you?
Nothing. This is all I nothing. I'm trying, man, I'm trying to live a better life. You know, I haven't been here for years.
Yes.
Ever since that stuff went down over there, I'll be getting it. Home
Well, you do owe me some money on a disturbing the peace case. You're on a payment plan. And you keep shooting yourself in the foot. And I want you to make payments on a payment plan.
I'm not here.
All right, Daniel, no drugs, no alcohol, test if demanded, no contact
I
with
don't do
additional
none of that
ground,
stuff.
no weapons, no assaultive behavior, and pay on your payment plan.
Oh, Lord.
All right, sir. You're gonna have to stay at your mom's in Colon. Now, do you need a ride?
Yeah, could I get a ride there?
Yeah, when you get out of jail, come up here to the courthouse and they'll give you a bus pass.
For the day?
Yes, courtesy of Mark and Sean and several others the Sheplers who've given me bus passes. All right,
where do I
sir.
go to get that? Where do I go
Right
to get
where
that?
the bailiffs, right at the bailiffs at the front there. Tell them Judge Middleton sent you.
Okay, right where I check in through the security
Yep.
place.
Okay, you're good to go.
Thank you so much.
All right, Keith, I'm not sure. I should have given him a small cash bond, but he's local. He's not gonna live there. All he did is take the phone away from her, throw it on the ground. All right. Thank you. Well, thank you. I'm back for a bit. I'd hope to leave at noon, but that isn't gonna happen. I have a jail arraignment to do. A young woman got arrested this morning. She wasn't here when I started the day, but as we finished the morning, I saw that she'd been arrested. So they got the paperwork around, hopefully lined up the public defenders so we can do her arraignment here in just a moment. Good afternoon. Are you Yvon Jane Briggs?
I am.
This is Judge Middleton. I saw that you'd been arrested, I think this morning. And
Yes.
so I stuck around to do this jail arraignment, and Mr. Keith Stickley from the Public Defender's Office is also with us. Miss Briggs, let me tell you what you're charged with. The allegation here is you're not in my system, give me a minute, that on March 1st, that you possessed methamphetamine, maintained a drug house, and had possession of a firearm as a felon. Let me get this. I had it up in my office. All right. The sequence of this is a little interesting. This file number is 251218. The warrant alleges that on March 1st at your home in Mendon, you did possess methamphetamine, 2 counts, maintained that house as a drug house. First 2 counts are felonies punishable by up to 10 years imprisonment. The second count, or the third count, maintaining a drug house, is a high court misdemeanor punishable by up to 2 years imprisonment and a fine of up to $25,000. Count 4 is a charge of felony firearm. They allege that you possessed a pistol while you possessed these controlled substances. Now, as Ms. Briggs, as I indicated, this alleged to have occurred on March 1st. They stopped you in your car, then they searched your residence, found some stuff in your purse allegedly, and also found some stuff in your house. That was March 1st. They sent the stuff to the crime lab, and it took a while for it to come back. And the warrant was issued on June 17th, signed by the prosecutor on June 11th. So this was alleged to have occurred on March 1st. They also have charged you with having an abandoned vehicle, this same vehicle, this Ford Edge. And that case is in limbo. I don't know what the status of it is. You got a ticket on April 3rd that you had a 2002 Ford Focus on your property with no plate. So that's April 3rd, and I don't know what the status of that is. The person that was with you in the course of this case was, I looked at this during the lunch hour, was Richard Joseph Leonard. He was the passenger in your car and also resided at your house. And there was some indication that some of this may have belonged to Mr. Leonard. This was March 1st. So I looked up to see what happened to Richard Leonard. Richard Joseph Leonard. There's more than one Richard Leonard. And lo and behold, on April 11th, at the same place, he's charged with assaulting you with assault, 2 counts of assault by strangulation, possession of a dangerous weapon, domestic violence as habitual offender, 3rd offense. That same day, April 11th, Mr. Leonard is also charged with possessing methamphetamine and fleeing, eluding a police officer, and driving with a suspended license. That case was bound over to circuit court. Both of those were, and Mr. Leonard is being dealt with separately. He did not get charged with anything that allegedly occurred on March 1st, and you didn't get charged with anything that allegedly occurred on April 11th. Nonetheless, you are charged with this. It has a felony firearm charge. You were previously charged with a methamphetamine case last year, I think, 2023. In file number 232346, you were charged with possession of methamphetamine at the same address, 315 East Street. They found needles and syringes and other things. They offered you a plea to reduce to a use of methamphetamine, which you declined. And the matter was set for prelim, and then the prosecutor dismissed it on January 16th of 24 for what they called prosecutorial merit. So the previous charge of methamphetamine was dismissed in 2024. The person that was with you on this case has been bound over to circuit court on assaulting you. And the firearm that was in the house on March 1st has been attributed to you and charged as a felony firearm. That is the crime that carries a mandatory minimum 2-year prison sentence preceding and consecutive to any other charge. So this happened in March. The police report was turned in May. The prosecutor authorized it in June, and they arrested you apparently this morning. When were you arrested?
This morning,
How did they arrest you?
an officer came to my house.
So the warrant was authorized a month and a half ago, and apparently they're serving some warrants and you got arrested. All right. So what were you doing when they came to your house?
This morning,
Yeah.
I was sleeping.
Where is Mr. Leonard?
He's on premises somewhere that in jail. He's still in jail.
Is he? He's not living with you.
No. I talked to the victim's advocate, thank you. And they said that he was still over here.
Let's take a look. All right. Who else lives at your house?
Nobody.
Yeah, he's been in jail 119 days. All right, well, let's talk about what to do with you. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to appoint an attorney for you.
Thank you.
It will be Rhonda Ives, I believe. That's up to the Michigan Indigent Defense Team.
That is true, yeah.
The pre-exam set for 8/19 at 8:30. And a prelim, if needed, set for 8/26/25 at 1. All right, you still live at 315 East Street, is that correct?
Yes.
There was a methamphetamine involvement in 2023 that was dismissed in 2024. There was this incident in March, and there was another incident in April, which leads me to believe the methamphetamine is a factor here. Are you employed?
No, I'm not.
Do you have any source of income?
Oh, before Mr. Leonard got locked up, we were doing side jobs and we had just got paid when he got arrested.
So do you own this house or rent it?
I'm in the process of owning it, but I've lost it.
It's in foreclosure?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any pets?
I do. I do. A little dog.
You have a dog?
Yes, sir.
Where's your dog?
At the house. I left it this morning.
Inside the house?
Yes, sir.
All right. I don't think that you're much of a flight risk. I think methamphetamine is a large factor here, and I think it continues to be. No income. The person who which you made your income with is charged with methamphetamine charges and charged with beating you up pretty severely and choking you. He's in jail pending further disposition on those cases. You have no job, no real income, but you're not going anywhere. This warrant issued in March, or the incident occurred in March. It took a while for it to come back. The state police presented it to the prosecutor on May 17th. They authorized it on June 9th, and we authorized it a few days later. And there apparently was no urgency to serve the warrant because they waited from then until August 8th in the morning to serve it. You also have this issue of this abandoned car. Is that Ford Focus still on your lot?
No, actually that belonged to Mr. Leonard and the neighbor across the street. And he came over and told me he was gonna, because Rick was gonna buy it from him, never did. It got towed by the police department, and he came over and asked me if he could file charges against Rick for the car because it's gone now. That was all him and Rick. Had nothing to do with that, Your Honor.
Now okay, that's Mr. Leonard.
Yes.
All right. I don't really know what to do with you, Miss Briggs. One option is to leave you in jail until August 19th. I believe that you are currently struggling with methamphetamine addiction. I'm going to order you not use any controlled substance and take a test upon demand of any police or probation officer. No weapons, no assaultive behavior, and I'm going to set you for pretrial supervision. Under the direction of Community Corrections. Telephone numbers on here. I'm going to give you a PR bond under the understanding that you're going to show up for court. Will you do that?
Yes, sir.
You're currently the victim of a domestic assault that the case has been bound over to circuit court. There's methamphetamine all over in this. Back last year, they offered you a misdemeanor. You declined the misdemeanor, so they just dismissed the case. I don't know everything that went into that decision. It's called prosecutorial merit. I do know that you're a complaining witness on a pending assault with intent to commit great bodily harm case. You haven't gone anywhere. How much longer can you stay in your house? Have you got an eviction date or anything?
No, sir, I have, basically, I have two scammers fighting over it right now, so.
Well, you can't just stay there, so you're just waiting till the other shoe drops. You stop making the payment. You'll stay as long as you can.
Yeah. Because there's nothing more I can do on my end.
Do you have a driver's license?
I do.
Why don't you work?
I was working until Rick got arrested. We
Well, that
were
was
working.
months ago.
Yeah.
Have you ever had like a regular job?
Yep, I was working for the union doing the same work.
What kind of work?
Setting tile and terrazzo. And I just haven't done that lately because I don't have a vehicle right now.
All right. The fact you don't have any money is related to the fact that you don't have a job. So if I set a cash bond, you probably won't be able to make it. I don't like this because this is a methamphetamine case, and I think you can't use methamphetamine. I'm gonna let you out of jail, and you can't use methamphetamine. You can't use marijuana. You can't drink any alcohol. I don't know what you're doing. You've been just sitting in that house since March. There were needles. There were relatively large amounts, grams, I'll say, of methamphetamine. This is the time to start to deal with it. So you're going to have to contact community corrections. It'll have to wait till Monday. And we're going to have pretrial supervision. No contact with Richard. What's his last name? Joseph.
Leonard.
Have you been visiting him at the jail or anything?
No.
Right. You're not to have any contact with him. I suspect you don't want any, but sometimes strange things happen. All right, I'm going to set the bond at $2,500 PR. Otherwise, you would just sit in jail. You're going to get out of jail. You need to contact community corrections, and you need to contact your lawyer prior to August 19th. The last time the prosecutor just dismissed the charges, it's not likely they'll do that here. There's also the issue of this felony firearm charge, which could cause you to go to prison for 2 years. Also, I'm concerned about your dog being locked in that hot house. Have you got a ride back to Mendon?
No, I don't.
Is there anyone you can call?
There's a couple of people I can call, but I'm not, if I have to walk home, that's fine too.
Walk to the courthouse and I'll get you a bus pass, okay? Come see the bailiffs at the front, and they'll get you a bus pass.
Thank you.
All right. I don't know what to say, Miss Briggs. You're not in a good place. But being in jail is even a worse place. I'm gonna lay you out of jail and you're gonna start to detox from methamphetamine, which might be just wishful thinking on my part. But as I said, there didn't appear to be any urgency in this. They waited a month and a half before they went out to arrest you. So $2,500 PR, no drugs, no alcohol, test as directed, no assaultive behavior, no contact with Richard Leonard, and you're to contact pretrial services for further direction. They may set up some testing for you. All right, you're good to go. Thank you, Mr. Stickley.